because like I said, rebounders, they will rush into decisions like buying a house, having a kid, getting married, getting engaged, all of these things.
Yes.
And then that turning point will come afterwards when the person you're dealing with already has become collateral damage.
Yeah.
They're already...
Since day one.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So now you're putting the decision onto them
Again.
to save you and free you.
Again.
That's what I mean. And it's
Again,
like, how painful is it for that person who's realized that this entire time, let's say you're not over your past relationship, you haven't healed, you haven't done the work, and maybe you're not even the person that you said that you were. That's a very, very painful realization on that person as well. And I'm here like, that would be devastating to somebody who believed they found true love, only to find out that their time was wasted by somebody who actually had feelings for somebody else the entire time.
Welcome back to Relate Right.
I'm Elle.
And I'm Fab.
And here at Relate Right, we are all about relationships and helping you connect better with each other. Today, we are talking about something many people experience but don't always understand: rebounding and monkey branching. How do these behaviors affect relationships, and what do they mean for personal growth? But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Relate Right and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if you're enjoying this content, give us a like, drop a comment, and share it with someone who will benefit.
So have you ever heard about monkey branching?
No, actually, it's only recently that I've kind of noticed this buzz about monkey branching.
Yeah.
Like when I first heard it, I mean, I've heard of a saying that's similar to that, where it's basically like a monkey doesn't let go of one branch until it grabs another one and holds on to another one, right?
That's literally the definition.
Literally.
Yeah.
So it's like, it makes sense. But in terms of relationships, I had never heard it before. So, but yeah, definitely when we did like start to explore it, I'm like, yo, so many people do that.
In my opinion, older women doing more than
Anybody else?
anybody else. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
All right. Before I ask you why you think that, basically the definition of monkey branching is being in a relationship
Yeah.
and then seeking another opportunity to be in a relationship with someone else while you're still in a relationship. So, all right, why do you think women do that more than men?
So for me, it's logic. Older women have a lot of things to lose when they are in a relationship. So I
Okay.
talk about after, I would say 35,
Okay.
35 years old and plus.
Yeah.
In generally, you have your life, you have child, career, you are maybe engaged. So you have contract, you have the houses in the contract, you have many different assets
Okay.
or not, but you have more things to lose in terms of lifestyle, in terms of even, I would say lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like before to jump into another relationship, before to see another, before to make something official, or before to let your present partner for another one, you need to be sure
Okay.
that the other one is worth it.
Right.
But I feel like it's more for older women because, and I say women because women have this instinct of preparing the future, but for the family, not only for them.
Right.
So to be able to prepare the future for a family, you need a safe land.
Okay.
To have a safe land, you need different process.
Well, why don't they just I feel like I get what you're saying, but why don't they just leave the man they're with? Or is it just a situation of, okay, these women are opportunists and they have an open mind?
Because I don't say that every old woman do that. I said the one who do that the most will be the older woman
Okay.
because of what I said. But also, I understand what you said. Of course, you can be a woman and you decide to leave your man, and you know that you will be able to prepare the future by yourself,
Right.
and you don't care, because you want to leave. That's what you feel. That's how freedom look like for you, and you're
Right.
gonna do it. But certain women will view the man as a part of
The
the
future.
future, you know. So not only in terms of providing, like I'm sitting there and I need someone to bring everything for me. Providers or providing is not just someone sitting there and the other one bring the rest. It's not just that.
Okay.
That's what people also, when they talk about women need providers, that's what they see when we talk about providing, you know.
So
But
I don't, what do you mean, like financially
so
or?
financially, but when in this society we talk about men are providers, we talk about that financially
Right, right, right.
or in terms of asset
Assets.
or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
But it's not just that.
Okay.
It's not just that.
Look, I definitely, yeah, just from all of the stuff that I've watched and read and kind of studied, definitely, I guess, when a woman is in a relationship that she's not necessarily fond of,
Yeah.
that she's kind of like getting over, or feels like she's unappreciated in, or feels like she's, I don't know, maybe even being used in some ways, eventually her radar of opportunities opens up, right?
Exactly.
And if a man comes in that looks like he might be able to give her a better lifestyle, give her more of what she's lacking in the current relationship,
Yeah, yeah.
I could see her jumping ship. It's hard though, because
Yeah.
I feel like women, when they have when they're deciding to leave a relationship, it's not like sudden. It takes
It takes
time.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're like weighing out all their options. They still got hope, especially if they still like have love for that person. Because the thing is, like, the way women view relationships, it's an investment, and you invested your time in this man, and you're not getting your ROI. Like, you're not getting all the stuff you put in.
Yeah.
So now you're like, well, maybe I'm going to get it in this other person who's showing interest.
And that's why I said that it's more often woman who's gonna do monkey branching. But also the difference between the man and the woman is that it's the woman who gonna takes time and see the next relationship, and this one as well as an investment. So they're gonna see further. They're gonna watch a different opportunity or not before to leave this one. Whereas the man often focus on meeting immediate need.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
difference,
Yeah.
you know. So that's why I don't say that there's not some man who gonna watch and maybe do the monkey branching. I don't say that it doesn't exist, but in
Yeah.
generally, men, it's like, for example, there is something which doesn't go well in the
Yeah, men
relationship.
will just be in 3 relationships at once.
Yeah,
It's not monkey branching.
yeah,
They're just
yeah,
building a life with,
yeah, yeah.
2 different people.
It's living in the tree, but it's like
Wow.
it's more like something doesn't go well in my
Right.
relationship. We can fix it. This girl provide what I need,
Right.
you know, provide what I'm missing in this relationship, whatever it is. So I'm gonna try.
Like men, you saying
Yeah, I talk
men.
about the men.
Yeah, but I
So
feel like
it's immediate needs.
men always have an anchor. They always have an anchor. They always have their main girl, and the rest is just like,
Yeah, to meet immediate needs.
right.
It doesn't mean that you need you
But
need
is
you,
that
you
monkey brain? Because he's not gonna leave
He's not gonna
he's not
no
gonna
no no
leave
no
his
no no no
anchor.
no no
That's not the purpose of a man
exactly
cheating.
exactly. He cheat because there is some things that this girl
Right.
provide, but these special things, not everything.
Right. Right. Right.
And they don't care. This girl can even be less attractive,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
not only physically, but even financially,
Right. Right. Right.
emotionally. Maybe he just need another type of
Right.
sex relationship. So he gonna go find it because this girl provided to him.
Yeah.
And
That's
he gonna
exactly
go
right.
just one time and come back.
Right.
Another time and come back. But after,
Well,
there
listen,
is
he's gonna go as many times as he's
as
getting his cup filled. But yeah.
exactly. But yeah, that's why for me, monkey branching, the
Right.
real term,
Well, monkey branching is kind of like cheating, right? Because like,
it is.
right, you're basically in two
It
relationships at
is.
once.
It is.
Exploring one connection
It is.
while still holding on to another one. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one because it kind of leads you to believe that women cheat more than men. But I think the important part to kind of consider here is the fact that it's only when she's already unhappy in her connection. I mean, of course, there's like women who, might prioritize wealth
Yeah.
over anything, and they
Yeah.
might be in a relationship where, the guy just isn't providing financially as much as he should be, or could be,
Yeah.
whatever. And she's found an opportunity where someone else will. So, I mean, there is obviously those types of people as well, but most of the time this happens when she's unhappy, and that's
If all the time you're unhappy, you have to do a monkey branching strategy.
you're gonna
You're gonna
stay
climb-
unhappy.
You're gonna climb
Yeah.
a lot of tree as well.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's what I said. I don't say that there is no situation, or maybe the monkey branching is it's the good strategy,
Right.
because you don't know what they are living in their life. Maybe there is violence, maybe there is some things, maybe I don't know, maybe there is maybe they have to live in a certain way, have to
Right.
be smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's about unhappiness, misunderstanding,
Right.
communication, lack of some things, and you prefer to see another partner, wait to be sure, and then leave,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that it's good or bad, because it will depend on the situation.
Well,
But
yeah.
I will prefer to say before that you need to see how to repair your
Your
own relationship.
Well,
That's
I mean,
that's-
every bad
the first.
relationship has two people in it.
Exactly.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And at the end of the day, every bad relationship, like, you can't just put the blame on one person.
Yeah.
Like, there's still an aspect of,
Exactly, yeah.
something you have to be accountable for. So at the end of the day, like, if you continue to monkey branch, then there's going to be like a lack of healing. So,
Yeah.
but you never know. I mean, sometimes you find your soulmate while you're in a relationship. And that happens, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, that happens sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, more often than not, it's not that.
Yeah.
So unlike monkey branching, rebounding is basically jumping into a new relationship straight away after a breakup.
Yeah.
Not healing, nothing, just like meeting that immediate need, like you
Yeah.
kind of said.
Yeah.
And it's that strategy of coping is usually, men, not women. So, it just seems like men and women deal with like breakups a little bit differently.
Yeah, you're right, because again, men compared to women have a hard time to process different type of emotion. So imagine after a breakup, when you don't talk about how you really feel, you need to have some strategy to numb the pain. And that's why you directly go into a rebound relationship, or multiple directly relationship straight away. You
Because,
need-
there's like a difference between like numbing the pain with meaningless sex and multiple partners,
Yeah.
like as in sexual partners and dating, than jumping into an unhealthy connection with someone else. There's like, it's a big difference. Like, you can still, I guess, cope and reflect on your own while, I guess, meeting women and having sex in some ways. It's not necessarily the healthiest way to do it, but like, to jump into a whole new relationship straight away,
I mean, even to jump into a whole relationship straight away, you need to have this dating phase. So that's what I said multiple, because at one point maybe the third one will be the one that you decide to be in a relationship. 2 weeks after, you know what I mean? After your breakup, even if you see 3 girls.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, men don't have the social support for healing, I guess. And they're not, yeah, they're just used to suppressing their emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And men are, yeah, they're used to functioning like in high painful situations just because like they're always taught not to cry, not to
Yeah.
feel,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and so they just kind of keep going.
Yeah.
And it looks like they don't care, but they're truly like hurt and broken inside.
But it's also because we, like you said, we don't have support, and between friends, we don't even talk about it. We're gonna say that, yeah, we break up. Oh yeah, I break up with her, it's finished,
Yeah.
etc. But we're gonna really say surface level. We're not gonna go deep. So as you cannot talk about it to your friends or anyone else, you need to have strategy. To forget, not to forget, but to even maybe, like you said, not numb the pain, but
Distract yourself,
to
maybe?
distract yourself.
Yeah. It's a dangerous game. But the thing is, let me ask you something, because rebounding is more of a narcissistic man's trait than a healthy man's trait. So, do you think that is normal that men rebound, or do you think that that's like, that's a red flag right there?
I feel like it's normal. It's normal because it is the consequences of how we educate men. That's how I feel. It's the consequences. Because if you don't have support, if you cannot express your emotion, if you don't even know how to feel your own emotion, then you're gonna be subject to those type of
Yep.
reaction.
I get you.
So
I
you
do think there's a difference though. Like
But
between like dating meaninglessly
yeah,
and jumping into a new relationship. Cuz like if you have to jump into a new relationship, right?
yeah,
Like you said, you got to see multiple people.
yeah,
Unless you have somebody lined up already
yeah.
while you were in your relationship, you know? But like to jump into an unhealthy connection with like both feet in, I feel like you're gonna have to meet a woman, love bomb her to convince her that you're ready for a relationship.
And
And
consciously,
to,
sometimes.
well,
And
that's what I
consciously.
mean. And that's what, those are narcissistic behaviors. Because narcissists don't always do things with their full consciousness.
Yeah.
Because it's all the things they do are coping strategies from childhood trauma, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like they have moments of clarity and understand what they're doing
It's
momentarily. But like if you can't be alone, right? And you need somebody else to fill your cup,
yeah.
that's a sure sign of, I'm not saying you have NPD, but those are very specific narcissistic traits.
It is self-centered love.
Right.
It means like they need to find someone to help them.
Right. To heal them.
Exactly.
Right.
To heal them, to help them, but they don't really care
Right.
about the person that they're gonna choose.
True.
And that's the problem. But is for the other one, if you are in the other shoes of the one who've been choose to be in the rebound relationship,
Right.
you're not gonna be able to see that at first.
Of course.
If you don't ask the good question, even if you ask them sometime, you're gonna have a fake answers, but you don't even feel it because they're gonna do everything quickly. They're gonna go. They're gonna love shower you
Well,
with
they're usually going to choose a partner that's vulnerable.
vulnerable. Exactly,
Right,
exactly. So
so-
it's the same. Like you said, I start to be agree as well with you. The narcissistic people do that as well. They target people, special people.
It's
They target
true.
people who's always vulnerable.
Yeah.
So
and who have like value to add to them. Because the thing I was kind of like thinking about it when you were talking, and I'm thinking let's say a man is rebounding, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the time, narcissistic people don't break up with their partner.
Yeah.
The partner breaks up with them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so they have two reactions. They either love bomb them to get them back.
Yes.
Or if that doesn't work, they try to call their bluff, or they seek vengeance.
Vengeance, yeah.
And like the best vengeance in their mind is showing them, oh, look, I have someone else and I'm going to give that person all the stuff that you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
To trigger them, to make them feel the pain that they're feeling inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like, I'm not saying everybody who jumps into a rebound relationship is a narcissist and self-centered. Like sometimes you really do meet, someone fast and feel lots of emotions, and that happens.
That happened, yeah.
But like this type of behavior is a red flag. Like when a man is so keen to be with you after date 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're a little bit older, because I feel like when you're older, people just know, they kind of know more who their person would be, like what characteristics they look for. But like if you're a young person, getting out of a relationship, if a man is like, oh, I just broke up with my girlfriend 2 months ago, you know what I mean? Well, we were together for, 5 years or 4 years or whatever, like 6 months even, and he's love bombing the crap out of this girl. You're no one like I ever met before, blah, blah, blah. Let's be together. Like, you gotta walk cautiously.
Yeah. I mean, there is also the people who have the fear of staying alone.
Yeah.
Also, it's when you start to rebound relationship, is also because you have a lack of emotional intelligence.
That's true.
As well.
Right.
But even when you say that, you can find maybe it work as well for some people that directly they find someone. Even that, I believe that it will be unhealthy in the future.
Well, every relationship is going to be tested at one point or another. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
if you don't take the time to heal, it's going to be hard for you to even.
That's right.
Start out to even, I don't know, recognize other problem in another relationship with another human while you already have yours from the past. It's, you know what I mean? So, well,
your selection is going to be flawed, right? Yeah. Because if you're in so much pain, you're not going to be able to select the right person. You're not going to be looking for the right things. You're going to be blinded by by certain things. Yeah. And so your selection criteria is just going to be flawed.
Yeah. And another thing as well, it's like you said, is the ego.
Yes.
It's the ego. And that's why men are more subject to a rebound relationship.
Yes.
Because of their big egos and our big egos. You know what I mean?
It's true.
If it's the woman who breaks up with us and we weren't ready for that.
Right.
Then there is the egos. Then there is the vengeance. And I think it's happened a lot.
Right.
I think it's happened a lot.
Yeah, because the thing is, people do care who breaks up with who.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well, like a lot of the times you notice men will complain about their girl and they will, say things like, oh, I got 95% in their mind, obviously, of everything I want, but it's that 5% that she doesn't do, and that's a strong 5%, And then they go ahead. The girl's tired of them. She breaks up with them. They meet another girl who has that 5%.
Yeah.
And now they're in a relationship with her because they're so excited by it. And then so soon after, they realize that 5% is all she got to offer. The grass is not greener on the other side.
And it's too late already.
That's exactly right. So if we talk about that, like that first stage of a rebound relationship is going to be relief and happiness.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh, wow. Whew, I found somebody else.
Yeah.
I found somebody else to heal me, to cuddle me, to help me.
To distract me.
Right, right.
Yeah.
To give me all the things that the other person was giving me.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to be alone.
We're still on the self-centered mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
No, not taking accountability. You're just like,
yeah.
Whew, I don't have to deal with this alone. Because I think this person is not looking for love. They're looking for companionship. They're looking for like somebody to, just help them.
Yeah. Because in general, they still love their ex.
Right. And that's right. Because a lot of people, a lot of the time, they don't choose one, how the person will leave them. That's the person's choice.
Yeah.
And that can be very painful, right? Because sometimes people leave in very harsh ways, we think. We think we're owed more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes, if someone has to leave, they got to leave. They got to do it their own way.
Yeah.
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 A way that works for them also. Because leaving someone is not easy either.
Yeah, of course.
It's a very considered decision. It takes a lot of time.
I mean, when you decide to do it, when you decide to be the one who's going to leave, you always look like the betrayer.
Exactly.
The one who betrayer.
Right.
While maybe you were giving a lot of signals since a while.
Well, you were giving lots of chances. Exactly. And that's the thing, like you said, it's like hurting people is not easy. Most normal people don't want to hurt a person they're with or that they were in a relationship with.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to. But anyway, that was my point. My whole point was the rebound person has now found a calm in the storm. Okay?
Yeah.
And you're the calm.
Yeah. So the second phase is the false honeymoon. So everything is beautiful. Everything is happy. Everything is better than before. So I have to show it to everyone. But more importantly, to my ex. She or he need to see it.
Right.
Social media, everywhere.
Yeah.
If I could even bump on her when we are on the mall, it would be amazing. Because I will show her or him that, oh my God, it's so amazing. I will take him. I will take my new partner. That's the thing. Yeah. So you have to show to everyone that everything is perfect. But it's also to mask your pain.
Right.
And you don't even listen to your pain. So that's why you do this. That's why you are in this second stage. Yeah,
because I think as well, like you said, you're trying to prove something to yourself as well. Like you're trying to prove to yourself that you're happy.
Yeah.
And to the world, right? As well, because your ego's hurt. So you got to show like, hey, listen, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm great,
it's
actually.
Even better.
Right. Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's that type of situation.
Yeah.
But like, the honeymoon phase, it just doesn't last too long. You know what I mean? Because in that honeymoon phase, your rational thinking is not there. So you might decide, oh, my ex, she always wanted a big wedding. Let me propose to this chick and have a big wedding now.
Yeah.
Let me get married quickly. Let me have a child.
Yeah.
Let me buy a house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You make big commitments.
Yeah.
In this time of like your decision-making skills are off.
You can, I was going to say another word, but you can fuck up your life.
100%.
Just with when you are in this phase,
Well, that's the part that I struggle with the most is, you can fuck up your life, but usually you don't fuck up just your life. You're fucking up the life of this other person who has no idea that your intentions are not good. Who has no idea that you still have attachments, who has no idea that you're not healed. And I think that's why anytime there is such like a fast connection, it's on both people to ask the right questions to assess the situation. Like, I'm not saying be skeptical, be negative, and think, oh yeah, this is, red flags and we gotta, this isn't right. No, but you just gotta ask the right questions, because you can really impact other people's lives.
Of course, because people who are not, the level of awareness from those situations, the level of emotional intelligence is not the same for everyone. So if you have someone who's in a lower level in
Right.
terms of awareness from those different traits,
Right.
they're gonna believe that it's true,
Exactly.
and even more. And imagine if you are you are the other one, and you are dating since a while, and then you find someone like this
Right.
who do a rebound relationship with you, but you won't be able to see it because you are dating since a long time. You are looking for someone who give you happiness, joy, and you are craving for this. So then this guy or this girl give it to you so much, then you're like, wow, this is the one. This is the one I
Yeah,
wanted.
because they make you feel
They make you
special.
feel special, yeah.
And most of us, everybody wants love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody wants love. And some people have searched for it desperately. And when somebody says, you are the one, you make me feel special, you are everything I ever wanted,
Yeah. Yeah.
why? You don't even want to question it. You know what I mean?
And
You don't even want to question that.
that's why I talk about the different level of awareness and emotional intelligence, because if you are high in terms of awareness, then you're going to be able to recognize the first stage.
Right.
When everything is too fast. When everything's come too fast.
Right.
When some certain type of attention come too fast.
Right.
Some decision of living together or come to your place or come to my place is too
Right.
fast. You're gonna be able to see it. And also to ask the good question and analyze the answers.
But I completely agree with you. But if you have been, in this day and age, all of us have been in a situationship at least one time.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of people are continuously going from situationship to bad relationship to friends with benefits to, heartbreak to heartbreak to heartbreak. And so when this promise of a fantasy comes and you think you found the one, I feel like you're blinded by that. And even if you are working on yourself or have worked on yourself to be emotionally aware and intelligent and consider the red flags, there would be a voice inside. Like, do you think there's like a voice inside telling you like, don't ruin this?
Yeah. But those people that you describe have something in common. They are unhealed people.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair
They are
enough.
unhealed people. So you can be from a situationship, from a rebound, from a, whatever. You are unhealed, and the fact that you are not healed, you don't take the time, and we're gonna talk about it just after the different stage on how to heal yourself. You gonna make the same, I will say, mistake in different ways.
Right.
It depends where you are, in different ways. If you go from a situationship, you're gonna look for different criteria. If you are someone who just had a rebounding relationship, you're gonna have also another criteria, because you're gonna look for certain things. So that's what I say. They are unhealed.
Right.
And this is the same result all the time. You go back to another relationship who break you a little bit more and more and more, because the choice that you make, it's coming from before to be with the people that you are choosing.
Right. And if you're the same person, then you're going to keep making the same mistakes in that relationship.
Yeah, because you don't choose when you met someone. You choose before. The thing that you don't know is you choose before that.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah, that's true. And look, okay, so that leads me to the next phase, right?
Stage 3.
Yeah, stage 3. So that's when like reality hits in. You start to regret. You start to compare to the ex. And that's really when like your love goggles come off and you realize that you're just in love with that 5% that I was talking about earlier. And that they're missing all these other attributes that you used to think were important, but didn't appreciate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now you're like, what did I do? You were on a high, but now your reality is kicking you in the butt.
Because we talk, I was going to ask a question. So imagine if you are the one who break up because you had your different criteria or whatever.
Right. The grass was greener on the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and directly you jump into a relationship. So you also do a rebound relationship, even if you're the one who break up.
Right.
But do you think that as we are talking about now, you are in the regret, the third stage? Do you think that it can happen years after? And for example, you buy a house, your child, and now you start to regret after doing all these things. You know what I mean? Like you jump into a relationship, everything was good, because you can jump into a relationship and you can still be with this person during 1, 2 years, 3 years,
Yeah.
and still do your thing. And it was fast, but you are still together. You managed to stay together, and then this thing, the reality and regret comparison just come. Imagine 3 years after you buy a house already, you have 2 child, I don't know, and then you're like, wow.
I definitely think people that are selfish in love, or like you said, self-centered love, or have narcissistic traits, they will always look for things that are missing.
Yeah.
They will always look for things that are missing. So if they're in a new relationship and they have to work harder, or they have to do something they didn't do before that was done for them before, or if they have to be the support for their partner, that can absolutely happen, because they're going to start to think about all the times they didn't have to do that for their ex. And I feel like that's for man or woman. Because if you're selfish, you're only looking at what you're going to receive from the relationship and not what you're going to give.
Yeah.
And so you'll always be unhappy in a relationship, period.
And it means some things. Time, just the time, doesn't fix the wound.
No.
For men. No. It's not because you let just the time go that you are over your situation, that you're over your ex. And even 3 years, 4 years after, even if you are in your life, you can come back and still message her and say, oh my God, I make a mistake. Hey, how are you? Let's have a coffee. Oh, hey. You know what I mean? And start to realize that maybe you make a mistake and then you don't love the girl that you are with. You know what I mean? And that's why we said that time, just the time, like you let some things go.
Yeah. You let time pass.
You let time pass, and it's gonna be good. We like to do that
because
as
we
men.
say time heals all.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
But as men, we love to do that because as we don't know how to deal with our emotion again, let the time pass is one of our best strategy for everything. Even when we have a pain somewhere, it's gonna
that's so true. And then it gets really bad and you have to end up at the doctor's.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's the same.
I am certain that there are many men who never get over their ex.
Yes.
Because they're constantly focusing on what they don't have. And they haven't done the work. And they haven't tried to heal. And they're continuously just looking for other people to heal them. And so they associate that feeling with the ex. But they're essentially just not over the relationship, I think.
Yeah. Imagine if it was your fault, but as you have a big ego, but also you don't have the support, you don't have the emotional support or whatever to recognize and to assess the relationship, then you always gonna, like you say, compare.
Right.
You always gonna try to find someone who, like you said, gonna bring you the thing that you need.
Exactly. And the thing that men love to do, especially men with narcissistic traits, is to say things like, I'm going to therapy.
Uh-huh.
I've done the work. I'm looking at myself.
Yeah.
I have reflected. And the thing is, you can go to school and sit there and be on your phone all day, but you will not have learned nothing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If you're going to therapy with the mindset of, I'm a victim,
Yeah.
I don't want to admit that I did the wrong thing. If you're the type of person who does have narcissistic personality traits,
Yeah.
your brain will automatically transform those thoughts of accountability into blame.
Yeah, and you will never heal because you will reproduce the same traits who didn't work in your relationship, but
Exactly.
you never take accountability for them because you didn't even recognize them.
Exactly.
Then it's just gonna be another relationship, and you're gonna keep compared your new relationship with your
Previous.
previous relationship.
And the thing is, it's actually quite sad, if I have to say. People with these characteristics, I don't think they choose to be in this way. It's literally
Yeah.
how their brain
Yes,
operates.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
they might have moments of clarity. They might even understand what they did wrong. They might even reach out to their ex and spill all the things and tell her everything she wants to hear about what they did wrong in the relationship. The thing about it, though, is they can never sit with themselves for too long. So that's just a momentary epiphany realization.
Yeah.
And you see that humanity come out. But because their brain is trained to, I guess, suppress sadness and traumatic feelings, it automatically just switches into indifference mode,
Yeah.
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 After maybe a week or so,
Yeah.
after they get what they want. Because the thing about these people as well, they don't want to be miserable by themselves. So they want to also make you miserable and everybody around them.
Yeah. Damn, it's complex.
Right.
It's complex.
And then the final stage is the turning point. So after all of the comparisons and the regret, like that can't be easy on a relationship, right? Your partner is eventually going to realize that they're constantly being criticized, that you're not happy. Maybe they're going to find out you've been talking to your ex. Maybe you're going to even say things like, well, my ex used to do that and you don't. Like, there's just going to be a lot of arguments. That person's going to feel like they're not good enough. So you guys are going to end up in this turning point of the relationship where you're probably going to break up.
Yeah.
Or you can try and stay together, but that's going to take a lot of work. And if you stay in it because you're so scared of being alone, it's still going to continue to be an unhealthy connection. Because there is a lot of work that both people are going to have to do to continue a relationship such as that.
Yeah. I mean, how can you be in a healthy relationship even if one of you, and I talk about the one who do the rebound relationship, doesn't want to be there.
That's exactly right. Like,
Doesn't want to be there. So you can try whatever you want, but at the beginning you didn't even knew that.
right,
But you didn't even want to start.
right,
So you already at the stage 4. You already passed all those stage, and now it's the end. So or you try to go a bit further, but it's gonna stop anyway. The only thing is how will you be the one who break ups,
right.
or
Or will they?
will you do everything for the partner to break up with you like that? You don't have any, you know,
Right, your hands are clean again.
again. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, this is where life gets complicated. Because, like I said, rebounders, they will rush into decisions like buying a house, having a kid, getting married, getting engaged, all of these things.
Yes.
And then that turning point will come afterwards when the person you're dealing with already has become collateral damage.
Yeah.
They're already...
Since day one.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So now you're putting the decision onto them
Again.
to save you and free you.
Again.
That's what I mean. And it's
Again,
like,
yeah.
how painful is it for that person who's realized that this entire time, let's say you're not over your past relationship, you haven't healed, you haven't done the work, and maybe you're not even the person that you said that you were. That's a very, very painful realization on that person as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm here like, that would be devastating to somebody who believed they found true love, only to find out that their time was wasted by somebody who actually had feelings for somebody else the entire time.
Yeah.
How could you stay with that person? You would have to have... You would have to be suffering with how you view yourself a little bit, because what are you going to do? Are you going to work harder to prove that you are the right person for them? Are you going to suffer in silence and hope that they get over their ex? I don't know. It's a very, very...
Yeah.
It's a painful realization.
I don't even know if there is a lot of example of people who realize it while they were in the relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. Because maybe you just think that he don't love me anymore.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, so how would you even know that somebody is still attached to their ex?
I mean, the only way you will be able to see it is you will need to have certain proof.
Right.
You won't be able to know it just like that.
Right.
So if you see how they talk to each other, if they're arguing about personal stuff,
right,
that's the thing. You cannot argue. If you argue with your ex about personal stuff, that means those personal stuff are not resolved and they are still there.
And they matter.
And they matter a lot.
Right.
A lot. So this is one of the reasons. That's what I said when you said that.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference, right?
Yeah,
so you got to ask him questions about the woman. You got to ask him, what part did he play in the relationship breakdown?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff did he do to heal? And it's not, I guess I touched on it before, but it's not just like, be like, oh yeah, I went to therapy. Yeah, okay, cool. But what did you learn? What strategies did you put in place? What were your shortcomings? What, now that you're in this relationship, what are you going to do differently? That type of stuff that really gets, what really gets you the answers that kind of prove that this person has done a critical analysis and a reflection on themselves and actually trying to improve.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people can say it, it's just they don't necessarily put it into action. Someone
who can't answer this question when you ask, what did you do to heal? What did you do to overcome the past relationship or the past problem that you had in your relationship? What did you do? If they can clearly answer that, they are not healed. They are not healed. Or they didn't even do the work to heal. Because I like those questions because it's not some question that you're prepared, except if you're a professional expert liar, but you're not prepared to those questions in generally.
Right.
Because not everyone asks those questions.
That's true.
So when they ask you that, when you watch their face, you're going to see straight away if they are lying or not. Because it's very hard to find good answer if you didn't do nothing. You're not going to invent a strategy just there in face to face.
I mean, I feel like some people are very good at knowing what to say and explaining theoretically what to say.
Yeah, of course.
But just not putting it into action. The thing about it is you got to really listen to even the small things of what they say.
Yeah.
Like if you're asking about the other woman,
Yeah.
and there are undertones of passive aggressiveness or anger or some sort of triggering emotion, using words that are quite negative towards the person, even if that person hurt them, that means they're not over it.
Because if they don't take any accountability
Mm-hmm.
in the past relationship of what's happened in the relationship, and they only blame
Yes.
their ex-partner,
Right.
it means as well there is some things behind it.
Exactly.
There is something behind the scene.
If they're still triggered, if they're still triggered,
they're not over it.
They're not over it. Well, they're not over the relationship. They might be like over the person in some ways, but they're not over that relationship. That's not a closed door.
Good example. We talk about our relationships.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Of course, we didn't talk about our relationship in the first date.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Nah. But now that we are together since years, now that our foundation also are strong, we can talk about everything. Yeah. And there is no trigger. Even sometimes we talk about what we didn't do well.
Exactly.
In the relationship. And even if it wasn't fully our fault, the breakup situation wasn't fully our fault, we recognized that it's both part.
Exactly.
It's because we healed.
Exactly.
We healed. And you're going to realize the people who don't heal never going to take accountability.
Yes.
It's not possible for them.
No.
It's not possible because they didn't do this work. You need to do this work. It's a big process.
It's
a big process to recognize.
It's very true. And not everybody has self-awareness, and not everybody has the gift of reflection. And even if they do have reflection, it's not, if it's not coupled with self-awareness, if it's not coupled with self-compassion, or self-analysis, then it's not going to be, they're not going to take the right steps to heal, because you can't heal if you don't actually admit what the problem is.
Yeah. You see, it's like a game. It's like a video game. I like to take an example. To go to the next step or the next level, you have to finish this step. You will never be able to go to the next level. It's the same for everything. It's the same for this as well. So since we talk about healing process, let's give you some advice on how to heal.
Hurt people. That's a fact. You cannot, I repeat, find or attract a healthy connection when you are feeling emotional distress, when you are hurt. Somebody else cannot fix what somebody else broke.
Yes.
They also can't fill the void that somebody else created.
You need to put this in your mind straight away.
Exactly. So what you need to do is make sure that you don't involve anybody else at the first stage of healing. That should just be really about you. It should be very introspective, and it should be all about yourself.
It's the first step of taking accountability for your own past relationship.
And for your growth and your evolution.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like to say that the time helps you to process the reason behind your breakup. It doesn't help you to heal, but it helps you to understand the reason behind the breakup. So it means like after a breakup, in generally, for example, if I take an example, when someone cheats on you, you're not going to say to yourself, what I've done wrong.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
No, you just want to kill your partner. Or something like that.
Maybe something
to that.
not that dramatic, but yeah.
It's depend the circumstances of the
You're
cheating.
You're just extremely angry, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But with the time,
Right.
and when you let the time from the cheating to this moment that you will realize what's happened behind, it's going to help you to calm down your emotion and then look the situation from another point of view.
Yeah.
Then you will be able to analyze the reason behind. And this moment is the moment that you need to start your healing process, but
exactly
on
right.
yourself, to start to work on the trait, behavior, or different way of thinking or vision, whatever, who didn't work in your relationship. You will be able to recognize them
Yep.
because you take this time, and then you will be able to start to work on them because you know what they are.
That's exactly right. I think a calm mind makes the best decisions.
Always.
Yeah, that's the
Always.
only time you can get clarity, really. Because I don't know if you guys ever heard that saying, never make a decision when you're overly excited, when you're overly sad, or when you're overly angry, because those are not rational decisions.
Even when you're overly happy.
Exactly. You should make decisions when your mind is calm.
Yes.
And only time can calm your mind.
Yeah.
And with that clarity, you can be very precise in your reflection, in your self-assessment, and your self-awareness. I'm not saying heal alone. You should seek assistance, whether it's therapy, individual therapy, or whether it's talking to friends. But you need to make sure that in this reflection space, you are identifying the correct behaviors that you need to change or that you want to change. Because there are some things that you may not want to change, and that's all right. That comes with its own consequences. So you definitely need some assistance to make sure you're on the right track with healing. Because if you're going to say to yourself, I was too nice, I was just an enabler, and that's the only thing I did wrong, well, I don't think so. Sure, that could be a part of it, but you're missing some critical points. So you got to really dig deep and look yourself, in the mirror, and you might not like what you see in there at times. That's all right. That's all right. Because guess what? The only person judging you is you. And the only person you're in competition is with you. And the only purpose of this whole thing is your own self-development and your self-growth. So it's like, you can't get anything in life that's worth having without pain or without some hardship. So it's going to be painful. It's going to be hard, but it's absolutely going to be worth it.
Exactly. And with that said, I like to say it, you need to heal to attract the right person, the person who deserves you. But the person as well that you deserve. Because if you know yourself, if you know what's happened in your past relationship, things that you've done wrong, the accountability that you take, now you take responsibility, then you will be able to choose with clarity your next partner. Then you can start to date. After all this process, then you can start to date safely. Doesn't mean like the next person that you're gonna meet gonna work, but at least you know what you want, you know what you don't want, but you also know you're not gonna reproduce things who didn't work from the past in your new relationship. You know what I mean? So you now when you're dating with clarity, with vision.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share with someone who could benefit. Tune into our next episode. You will not want to miss it.
And until next time, fam, take care and nurture your relationships.
Relate right.